Marvin Harrison Jr., the stud, the Hall of Famer himself. We freaking gave him his jacket in the preseason. He's still growing into it. Like he's like when I buy my kids stuff, I buy them a little bit larger, right? Like a size up, and they can grow into it. That's what Marvin Harrison's doing right now. He's playing Seattle or the wide receiver one for your Buffalo Bills, Khalil Shakir at the LA Rams. I went first last time. I gave you the advantage, so you get to go first this time.
Yeah, as you said, Khalil Shakir is the target. He is the target. He is the Trey McBride of the Buffalo Bills, where they have a Dalton Kincaid. Marvin Harrison Jr. is second in targets on the team behind Trey McBride, which nobody would have really thought about. I guess fantasy people would have thought about, Trey McBride being a stud of a tight end, but it seems like the national media doesn't understand that. But Marvin does lead the team in explosive plays of over 20 yards with 9. However, Seattle did lock him up the last game for only 3 catches. So that could take an effect. Maybe the Seattle Seahawks actually know how to play against Marvin Harrison Jr., how to lock him up. Because I mean, that was literally 2 weeks ago, but then he scored 17 points against Minnesota last week. So um, Shakir, on the other hand, it doesn't really matter. He's gonna get his targets. He's gonna get his plays, and that's pretty amazing. Even with leading the team in targets, though, he has only been a top 20 wide receiver, or he has not been a top 20 wide receiver this season.
Mm-mm. That's the problem with Shakir. Is his upside is super limited because he's not a game breaker. He's not someone like Marvin Harrison who can break open a game wide open. He's a receiver that's going to give you like you're happy with 5 for 60. Like you are, and that's where the Bills stand right now. Like you're super happy with like, oh yeah, just give me double digits and we'll get out of here and we'll take that double digit, buddy. Whereas Marvin Harrison, you drafted him in the first round. You really wanted him to be that 30, 25, 20 point game guy. He hasn't really done that consistently. Whereas Khalil Shakir, you're just guaranteed every single week besides week 6 in week 13, double digit points. He's got 50 yards, 70 yards, 60 yards. He only has one game with 100. That was against Seattle. 9 catches, 107 yards. That was back in week 8. This guy's not a big touchdown scorer. He doesn't score many. He only has 2 on the season. Both were in the first quarter of the season back in week 1 and week 3. So it's been a while since he's found the end zone. I do like the fact that he is like the guy there. Like he's averaging double digit
Yeah.
targets since week 8 as well. That's
Shakir is definitely a big time PPR play. Where if you're not playing PPR, you definitely probably lean more towards Harrison because he can do more with the ball. He does have a couple games over 100. He does get touchdowns. That's the big thing. To actually answer this, I think I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. here. I know he did just get locked up by Seattle just 2 weeks ago, but the Rams are Shakir has to play against the Rams, and they're the 7th best against the pass, which does not favor his way. So I feel like this is going to be a big James Cook, Josh Allen game. Hopefully, maybe they actually start getting Dalton Kincaid back involved if he's healthy. Knox had a big game last week with 12.5 points. So I could see them moving the ball around a lot more than just directly going to Shakir. And like you said with Will Levis, this is a big divisional matchup. This is for first in the division pretty much. So I'm going to lean towards Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray getting the ball out to both McBride and Marvin Harrison.
yeah. Since week 7, it's been up and down, man. 5.1, 23.1, 3.4, 16.4, 7.7, 17.
So this is the down
This
week,
is the
isn't it?
down week
This is the down
like
week.
if you follow trends and you like to follow that kind of stuff and you think you put any kind of stock into it, yeah, this is the down week. It really is according to the game logs. Playing Seattle for the second time in 3 weeks. That's never fun. Um, is it going to benefit the defense or the offense? Is it going to benefit Kyler? Is he going to understand the defense now? And is he going to understand how to beat that Seattle defense? Or did Seattle just get a better look at Kyler and go, hey, we shut him down once. We could do it again. Again, in that game against Seattle, he had 94.8% of the snap share. It's his career high. I could say career high because it was. He had more snaps in that game than any other game. He ran 38 routes, which is again career high for him. Only had 6 targets, 3 catches, 47 yards. You don't want to see that from your number one receiver. You don't want to see it, but it happened. So let's see if it happens again. Again, Minnesota is the number one worst team. I know I said that wrong, but they're the number one worst team against the receiver position. They're worse than Baltimore now. Minnesota is. And that's who he just beat. 12 targets, 5 catches, 1 touchdown. That one touchdown was super late too. It was an effective touchdown. It was a very good touchdown, but it came late in the game and you're like, "Oh, what's going on with Marv?" And that's been the story of Marvin Harrison. What's going on with Marv? What's happening? Is he a bust? Is he just a secondary player? Is he just going to be a T. Higgins? And does he need a Jamar Chase for that team to actually be effective? These are all question marks. Everyone comes in with these expectations of, oh, he's the great guy. He's Marvin Harrison Jr. He is the number one guy. Well, really, Neighbors is better. Brian Thomas is better. You can argue JSN's already better, but he's not in the same class. But you get my point. He's not meeting the
I
expectations.
I see, so to go back to college here, the Ohio State receivers are always not as high fiddle as the LSU receivers. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, number ones, like they are elite. They are the good, great talents. Then you got guys like Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson from Ohio State, also Marvin
Hey,
Harrison Jr. They're great. They are great. Don't get me wrong. They are great, but they're not number one, like wide receiver one in fantasy. I mean, look at Garrett Wilson, probably the better of the two, but Garrett Wilson has not had a top 20 finish until this year in his 3 seasons. Chris Olave has only been wide receiver 16. That's the highest he's been.
no, I
Marvin
understand.
Harrison Jr. could be another mid tier. Like he is going to be a wide receiver one on his team for sure, but not a wide receiver one in fantasy.
Yeah, and that's possibly the case, especially with Trey McBride just being such a better target for Kyler Murray. I'm not gonna say better athlete or better player, just a better target for Kyler. Seems like they mesh more than obviously Marvin Harrison. So I didn't give you guys an answer yet,
You didn't.
and I'm gonna go Khalil Shakir. Not just to be
Okay.
different, just because I want the safe
Woo.
floor. I want the safe floor. I want the safe floor. I see that I play patterns. I play roulette when I go to the casino. And if it's like black, 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 red, black, 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 red, like I notice that kind of stuff, and I'm just gonna bet all my money on black every time. So if it's good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad for a long extended period of time, this is his bad week, and he's playing Seattle again. So